There's one thing no one taught you when you were young. Kindness has its limits. For years, we've been taught, always be kind, be giving, be patient. But at some point in your life, especially as you enter your adult years and grow older, you'll realize something very valuable. Not everyone deserves your kindness. The older you get, the more valuable your inner peace becomes. Not money, not status. It's serenity, a good night's sleep, and simple joys every day. However, there are people, no matter how friendly they appear, no matter how familiar they are, no matter how much you call them family or friends, who quietly erode that peace little by little every day. You may never notice. Maybe you feel tired but still try to endure. Maybe you ask yourself, am I being too sensitive? Today, I will show you 6 types of people that you should learn to stop being kind to. Not to become cold, not to retaliate, but to protect the most precious thing left, your peace of mind. Trust me, when you know how to say enough, you'll not lose anything. On the contrary, you will regain the good things that have been lost for a long time. So, who are those 6 types of people? Let's start exploring right now. 1. Constant takers. Have you ever felt like you're just a giver, but never a taker? Have you ever noticed? Some people only come to you when they need something, and that's it. That's the constant taker. At first, they make you think, oh, they need me. I can help them. That's good enough. But later on, you'll see that things aren't that simple. They don't call to ask how you're doing. They don't text to wish you a happy birthday. They only come when they need a favor, a loan, a hand. And when you're exhausted, when you need someone by your side, they disappear without a trace. Gloria, 71, is an example. All her life, she was the first person the family thought of babysitting, house-sitting, dog-walking. She never said no. But then came her birthday. The phone was silent. No greetings. No text messages. She was sick for a week, and no one came to visit. Only then did Gloria realize. She wasn't a family member. She was just a convenient service. If you keep giving like that, you'll be left with nothing but exhaustion, loneliness, and an empty heart. Remember, you have the right to say no without having to apologize. You have the right to set boundaries. You have the right to choose to love those who appreciate you, not those who drain you. Kindness is a precious gift. Don't give it to those who only know how to take and never give. Because in the end, you are the one who needs to be loved first. And then, when you have learned to say no to those who only know how to receive, there's another type of person, silently gnawing at your confidence every day. They don't shout. They don't bang on the table or chair. But their every word, like drops of water on a rock, over time, will also make your heart tired. That is the critic. They will look at you with a critical eye. Loud sentences that seem harmless. Why are you dressing differently these days? That probably only suits young people. That decision, I'm not sure it's right. Gentle, cold, but extremely sharp. Imagine Raymond, 82 years old, every week drives nearly 20 kilometers to visit an old relative. He brings with him fresh bread, old stories, and a sincere heart. But instead of thanks, Raymond received criticism every time. Oh, why are you selling that old chair? Your hair looks a little strange. You're always too sensitive. At first, Raymond laughed it off. But gradually, every time he visited, his heart became heavy. He began to doubt himself. And the trips that were once filled with joy now became awkward. Don't mistake constant criticism for caring. Don't let comments disguised as knives stabbing straight into your heart. You don't need to change just to please someone. You don't need to ask anyone's permission to live your own life. At this age, you don't need to be the version others expect. You just need to be the version that makes your heart feel at peace. If someone is just picking on you and criticizing you, smile gently and leave them behind, because you are not born to be a stage for criticism. You are born to live freely and happily. Do you think that everyone you're friendly with is really rooting for you? If so, be careful. There are people who, on the surface, applaud, but inwardly, secretly hope you fail. They are the secret competitors. They will laugh with you when you succeed. They will compliment you, but with sharp words. For example, wow, your work is impressive, although I think you're a little old for that. It's great that you're trying. After all, technique isn't everything. Sounds gentle, right? But each of those words are like little needles piercing your confidence little by little. Think of Helen, 76. After all these years, she finally got the courage to sign up for an art class, a childhood dream. Her best friend, Judy, also signed up for fun. But every week, Judy would say, "Your painting is very bold. Not everyone is after subtlety." Helen smiled wryly. But each time, the light in her eyes would fade. After a few months, she began to wonder, am I making a fool of myself? You see, the secret competitors don't have to openly harm you. They just need to plant a little doubt in your heart, a little comparison, a little suspicion. And so, you withdraw into yourself, breaking your own wings. You need to understand, not everyone who smiles at you blesses you. Those who truly love you, they don't measure, they don't compete silently. They applaud your success as they applaud their own victory. Be with people who make you feel complete, confident, and radiant. Not people who make you shrink down to make them feel comfortable. Because your light should never be dimmed, just to please others. Behind the silent competitors, there's a more subtle type. They don't compare, they don't criticize. They use silence, half-jokes, to stab your self-esteem without you even knowing it. That's the passive-aggressive manipulator. Have you ever felt a joke can make you feel a pang? Have you ever walked out of a conversation, trying to convince yourself, I'm just being too sensitive? If so, you're probably dealing with a passive-aggressive manipulator. They don't yell. They don't attack directly. They hide behind smiles, sarcastic jokes, making you doubt your own feelings. Imagine Harold, 83, living in a friendly neighborhood. Neighbor Doug always smiles and waves. But when Harold asks for help with a small task, Doug sneers and says, "You're really old, don't you? You need someone to help you step by step. If I help you, you'll probably be in a wheelchair with me someday." Doug doesn't refuse outright. He just makes a few jokes, seemingly harmless, but leaves Harold standing there, alone, confused and hurt. That's the dangerous power of passive hurt. You can't react because they're just joking. Don't be so sensitive. But inside you, the wound keeps growing day after day. Remember, kindness doesn't mean accepting hidden stabs. Peace doesn't mean resignation. If someone makes you feel small, makes you doubt your own feelings, then they don't deserve a place in your world. Overcoming the passive hurters. You think the journey is over? Not yet. They're the final, more subtle, more dangerous type of person. The emotion dismisser. They don't take anything from you, nor do they attack you. After all, after the takers, the critics, the guilt-mongers, the hidden enemies, and the passive hurters, you think you've got it all figured out. But there's another type, more subtle and dangerous. They don't ask for anything from you. They don't compare, they don't compete. They simply deny your emotions. They're the emotion dismisser. You tell them about your sadness. They laugh and say, "There's nothing to be sad about." You share your worries. They wave their hands. It's all nonsense. You confide in your loneliness. They shrug. Everyone is lonely. Never mind. Imagine Linda, 74, living alone in a small house. One day, she sits down and pours out her heart to an old friend about the emptiness she feels every afternoon. She longs for a hug, a word of comfort. But in response, she only gets a curt reply. "I'm old. Why bother thinking about it?" Linda smiles wryly. But that night, in the cold room, tears fall again. You see, when your feelings are denied, you begin to doubt yourself. You think, maybe I'm too weak. Maybe I'm overreacting. You begin to suppress your sadness, hide your fear, and slowly lose touch with your own heart. But remember, your feelings are valid. Your sadness deserves to be heard. Your joy deserves to be shared. You don't need permission to feel. You don't need to apologize for feeling. If someone makes you feel too sensitive, if someone ignores what your heart is screaming for, walk away. Find someone who listens with all their heart. Someone who not only hears you, but understands you. Because at this age, you don't have time to hurt yourself just to endure the indifference of others. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be heard. And most of all, you deserve a life where your feelings are respected and cherished. So, We have gone through 6 types of people that you absolutely should not continue to be kind to when entering the afternoon driver. Remember, being kind is not for the benefit of others. Love does not mean letting others shorten your time. You have chosen to go too much throughout your life. Now, it is time for you to give yourself a chance to live naturally and happily. Life is not as long as it was in the beginning. Every day that passes, peace of mind, is the most precious gift you deserve to receive. You have given too much. You have been patient, silent, resigned, just to keep everything around you resolved. But today, remember one thing. Peace is not something you can ask for from others. Peace is something you have to protect for yourself. Be strong to set limits. Be brave enough to say no when necessary. Choose to be with people who make your heart gentle, not those who force you to shrink to challenge them. If you find yourself in today's stories, please leave a comment below. Share with me and those who are watching this video. Have you ever had to leave someone to protect yourself? I always read all of your shares, and those lines of confidence will continue to strengthen not only you, but also many others who are in the process of naturally searching for the truth. If you find this video useful, please like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next content. Let's build a community where everyone knows how to love themselves properly. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell to never miss out on future content. Let's build a community together where everyone knows how to love themselves properly.